Good morning. In the Gospel according to Jerry Seinfeld, it is noted that the most feared events in life is public speaking. Second is death. So it is less stressful during a funeral to be in the casket than to deliver the eulogy. Can I get an amen from anyone who's ever offered a eulogy at a funeral? Welcome to All Saints Sunday, my brothers and sisters. This is our annual stare down with that which awaits all mortal flesh, that which we fear just as much as talking in front of our peers as we gather together as the sanctuary saints and the balcony saints. These are the ones who have a wonderful view of all that you and I are facing, our balcony saints. Their names written before us, candles lit for them, as they sing along and they pray alongside in their own mysterious ways, serving as examples and as encouragers for whatever you and I brought in with us this morning. And that begs the question, what are we bringing in this morning? Do we have fears of our own that need to be sorted out? Are we facing a big decision? Are we running out of courage? Have we OD'd on CNN? The saints are here to encourage. The saints are here to talk with us. This is why we're here, to remind ourselves that there is this other world than that which we see. And that world beckons us not to worry or to fret, but instead to be bold and courageous to the tasks that are before us. Quiz for you this morning. Can you name the great 3 days of Easter? The great 3 days. What's the first one? Maundy Thursday, right? Holy Thursday. Then Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday. Well, this time of year we also have 3 great days that the church commemorates: All Hallows Eve, or Halloween, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day. October 31st, Halloween, is the nighttime celebration that precedes the celebration of the saints. I know this weather was not great for Halloween trick-or-treating, and I know a lot of you are happy because you got to keep the candy. But that comes from All Hallows Eve, this nighttime celebration preceding All Saints. All Saints Day, the first, typically marks the remembrance of those saints of particular Christian devotion. So these are the famous saints. These are the capital S saints. Think of St. John, the disciple of Jesus, his churches, schools, even a Caribbean island named after him. And then, of course, there's All Souls Day, that's November 2nd, and that typically marks the lives of the everyday saints, like you and me, and like those whose names we've marked here this morning. These are the small S saints. Not so much like St. Mark, but maybe like St. Pauli. You know, the everyday Joes, like you and me, known locally and relatable for their foibles amidst their faith. Now, in the old days, we would have gone to 3 different church services to mark these 3 different celebrations of All Hallows Eve, All Saints, and All Souls. But here this morning, we're commemorating all 3 of these holidays a few days after the fact by combining our services to celebrate all of those of holy reputation whom we deem honorable and needful for us to remember. Our lives go by so quickly. It's so important that we remember the shoulders upon whom we stand. And have you ever wondered where actually are these saints right now? How will you and I be spending our days once life as we've come to know it is in the rearview mirror? Ever wondered that? I'm sure you have. And so let's talk about the afterlife. What's been deemed heaven and what's been deemed hell? The theology that prevailed when I was born said that we were bodies that contained a spirit. Our body was earthly and temporal, our spirit was heavenly and eternal. So at the time of death, the soul left the body, and the joys and sufferings of the afterlife happened elsewhere, but were considered to be physically real. You had wings and harps, and you partied on clouds in heaven, or you boiled in lava while listening to Lawrence Welk. I would pick your own band. That'll be heaven for some people. Well, things have changed since then when we talk about that understanding of heaven and hell, as we've acquired increased knowledge about the cosmos. Our comprehension of the afterlife today, thanks to new understandings of how the world works, especially through the eyes of quantum physics, suggests that our world is actually one in all its dimensions. So the idea of a next world has fallen into disfavor, as many people have come to understand heaven and hell and even purgatory not as physical places, but as states of being, all located within this one vast world. According to this old theology, we humans became acosmic, or cut off from the cosmos, as we went from one place to the other, both very distant from here and left to our imaginations to comprehend what that might be like. This is one reason some Christians can seem so uncaring toward the environment, because it's seen as something ultimately meant for destruction. But in this new understanding, we have become pan-cosmic. We are in relationship with the whole cosmos, always and eternally. There is no time. Heaven and hell are located within the scope of present reality, though much of it is unseen. This is a big reason why so many Christians are concerned with the care of creation. This world, nestled in the ever-expanding, glorious universe, contains all of creation, the now and the hereafter. So in our earthly life, we are confined to one part of the cosmos, and friends, in death, we are released into a potential relationship with the whole of universal life. Little Johnny came home from school one day, and he went to his room to visit his pet turtle, Fred. But when he went to the little glass box where Fred lives, he noticed Fred was not moving. He was lifeless, and the little boy cried out, "Fred is dead!" Johnny's parents ran into the room. "What's wrong?" they said. "Fred is dead," said their son. "Oh, I'm so sorry," said his mother, "but I know what we'll do. We'll celebrate his death. We'll have a funeral, and we can put it in a fancy shoebox, and then we'll go get some ice cream, and I'll make a cake. We'll get some balloons. We'll invite your friends. We can go to the store. We can get some presents." Well, just then, Johnny's father looked into the little glass box, and he noticed that Fred the turtle was moving. "Look," he said, "Fred's alive, Fred's alive." So Johnny looked over at the glass box, and he paused for a moment, and then said to his father, "Can we kill him?" Yes, after death, what awaits is not to be feared or fought, but imagined as joyful and fulfilling, perhaps even more than life itself. This idea is well documented in the Christian canon. St. Paul famously says in his letter to the Philippians, "To live is for Christ, to die is for gain." Through the eyes of faith, you and I see a place in which we are reunited with those we've loved most, where there is no pain, there is no sorrow, there is no stress or disappointment, but God is all in all. All Saints Sunday is about reminding us about this future, so that we might be even more seriously determined in the present. You know, the story is told about my one-time acquaintance, Desmond Tutu. He was that rabble-rousing South African bishop who stood up against apartheid in the 1980s. And the story goes that on the day he died, he hasn't died yet, but the story goes on the day he died, it's told that Desmond went to the pearly gates. And there, St. Peter said he could not find Desmond's name in the book of life. And so Desmond was consigned to Hades. A week later, the devil showed up at the pearly gates. "You got to take this Tutu guy back," he said. "He has given us hell." And friends, that's our job too. We all know how broken our world is, and how each one of us have been given certain gifts and certain guidance to do our own thing to set the world to rights. And this is why we're given the saints, to take their example and to give the devil hell. The Christian life is not simply about personal fulfillment, it's about communal betterment. We take the joy and gratitude of God's presence in our lives, and we turn around and we imitate the saints by doing works of generosity and kindness and peace and justice. I know there's a saint in your life that has an aspect of them that you really look to for encouragement. And this is the day we remember that. What is Mom saying in my ear? What is that beloved person telling me that's going to encourage me along the journey that I'm on right now? What does that look like in our lives? Well, the Holy Presence may be asking, In what ways are we embracing our gifts and then using them to make the world better? In what ways are we backing away from the challenge of living a more involved and altruistic life? In what ways are we staying out of the arena, avoiding the spotlight, and keeping too much to ourselves? How is God, how are the saints calling us to get more deeply connected to life and to others and to our great world? And so, friends, my prayer is this for us today. May we leave this place more fully aware of the heavenly voices that are around us and the ways they are seeking to encourage and challenge us. May we look at their deeds of sacrifice and love and imitate them. And may we be courageous and bold in seeking out and accomplishing that which is deepest in our souls. Amen.